weren't in history class, but you really wanted to. I'm Claire Donald.
And I'm Tess Bellomo.
Oh my God, I can't believe we're here. We made it.
We made it. This is our first ever live recording that's going to be out on Monday. And thank you so much, Spotify, for having us. This is just really special and very surreal. This is the nicest stage we've ever been on.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? I get used to this. We had a green room back there.
We love a green room.
Yeah, we really do. We took advantage of that. Yeah, thank you, Travis and Haley and the Spotify team. They asked us to do a little episode for Women's History Month. And thank you. Yes, the applause. Well, I got to get used to the crowd work, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
Before we get started on today's episode, we did have a very exciting thing that happened to us, and it is in, vein of Women's History Month. The one and only Tyra Banks has found us on TikTok, and she commented on our TikTok last night because we did an episode about her, and this is a career highlight for us.
Not only did she comment, she said, "Y'all crazy."
But then she said, "I still love you."
Yeah, and that's everything to us. I feel like if you're a millennial, you grew up with Tyra, and you feel like she's a part of your family.
We've been celebrating all day,
all day and all night. So it really put us at a top level.
It sure did,
for today. But when they asked us to do an episode for Women's History Month, honestly, I was like, I've got it. No second thought.
Came to you very quickly.
It really did, because today we are covering the Girl Scouts. So we always do this before our shows. Tess, what do you know about Girl Scouts? What's your experience with Girl Scouts?
I know very little about Girl Scouts, which is always fun when we do an episode where one of us is just completely in the dark. I asked my mom about this. I was like, did I have any interest in being a Girl Scout? Like, it just wasn't in my childhood. Like, I think I was just a weird kid maybe that was like ice skating and watching Titanic constantly, and that's all I was doing in my spare time. So I know very little.
So you didn't have any interest?
No, and I don't think I even had friends that were Girl Scouts. I'm like, where were they? Where were the Girl Scouts?
They were hiding from you.
I guess so.
Was anyone in the audience a Girl Scout? Love.
Oh, okay.
I'm with my sisters. I was a Girl Scout. My mom, I didn't realize, but my mom was a Girl Scout. My aunt was a Girl Scout. And so it's like very much a part of like my youth. I actually have my Girl Scout vest here today. My mom sent it to me, and I was like, oh my God, this is so little.
It's so lit. It's very chic, though, honestly.
Yeah, it is. It is actually really chic. It has Girl Scouting the 2000 New Millennium patch.
What a time.
I know. I also have a Hop Into Books. I was top seller of my troop, and I know I had a patch for it, and it sounds like I'm lying because it's not on here, but I know it was there.
We know that you are. That makes total sense.
Yeah, this isn't like the National Honor Society where I showed up to the yearbook picture even though I wasn't in National Honor Society. I actually had that patch at some point in my life.
You are an inspiration to us all.
Thank you so much.
You really are.
Thank you. Yeah, Girl Scouts has always been super special to me. So I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to shed some light on the girlies.
I am so excited. Let's talk cookies and Girl Scouts.
Let's talk cookies and Girl Scouts. All right, history of the Girl Scouts. Now, to start, before there was Girl Scouts, there was the Boy Scouts.
No shock there.
Yeah, so we have to get into that. So the Boy Scouts began in 1908 in Britain by this guy, Robert Baden-Powell. Eventually, I saw he was called Sir Robert Baden-Powell, so at some point, he got knighted, which is exciting. He was looking around, and he was honestly just like, you know what? These British boys are too lazy, and they're soft, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Like, no one has survival skills anymore. We need to switch it up.
You man up.
Exactly. So he's like, I'm going to create this program to bring back the real men. So some toxic masculinity, I think, was in there at some point.
Yeah, well, it's 1908.
It always shows up in history, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So thus the Boy Scouts. He was like, let's put an emphasis on competitions, on campouts, patrols, and woodcraft skills. And so he starts this, and it just takes the world by storm. Everyone wanted to scout. It becomes a worldwide phenomenon. And then soon enough, the girls are like, wait, that looks so fun. I want to join the Boy Scouts. How do you think that went?
They were like, get out.
Literally.
There's no space for you.
No girls allowed. Absolutely not. Actually, 6,000 girls initially tried to sign up, and they were like, no.
And how old were they at this point?
They were young. So I think that they were around 10.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is actually an excerpt from the Boy Scouts newspaper that was called the Boy Scouts Headquarters Gazette of 1909. Quote, if a girl is not allowed to run or even hurry to swim, ride a bike, or raise her arms above her head, how can she become a scout?
raise your arms above your head.
Yeah, I have questions about that too.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that?
Yeah, I really don't know why they wouldn't think that girls could do that. But
too much physical activity.
They can't raise their arms above their head.
Okay,
so
can't do that.
They can't scout.
Right.
So, but girls still continue to try to join. They even like would leave their initials on the sign-up sheets in hopes that they would think that they were a boy, like very Mulan style.
Oh my God, it is giving Mulan.
It's giving Mulan. But they were turned away. They would also march behind the boys in their own homemade like scout outfits and patches. Like they were just desperate to have something else to do.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
And because of all of this, I think Sir Robert Baden-Powell was like, all right, to make you quit your yapping, I will start something that's for the girls. I'll have my sister Agnes run it, but we're not going to be doing the same things, okay? You're not going to be outside. You can do, like, domestic arts.
Right, like they're like cook and clean.
Exactly.
And get
like
some
there
patches.
was a laundress badge, you know?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, yeah. So
wouldn't be for me. Would not be for me.
They're like same but different. So now they have this program called the Girl Guides. Okay. So cut to May 1911. We're in Britain again, okay? And Sir Robert Baden-Powell is at this party, and there's this rich American widow there named Juliette Gordon Lowe.
Such a chic name.
I
love the
know.
name Juliette.
And to be a rich American widow in the early 1900s,
Chic.
my God, American Dynasty, anyone?
Yeah.
I love that.
Love.
So she was also known by her nickname Daisy, which Girl Scouts, Daisy Troops.
Oh.
She was known as her nickname Daisy because her family called her Crazy Daisy.
Of course.
I couldn't really they just said she was eccentric. I think that she was a Southern woman who didn't just want to be a wife, and so they're like, you're crazy.
Yeah, they're like, lock her up.
Yeah.
Put her away.
So Crazy Daisy she was. And her and Robert were at this party. They're talking. He's telling her about the Boy Scouts. And he's like, at this time, they're emphasizing military preparedness, but also having fun. So it's like, we got to be ready for war, but we can have fun.
Right.
You know?
Makes sense.
As every well-rounded child would need.
Yeah.
And so Juliette, or Daisy, I think we should just call her Daisy from now on.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Daisy was like, wait, I love that. And I wish I had that as a kid. Because for her whole life, she was only brought up to be trained to become like a wife or a mother. Mm-hmm. You know, she's like told that's all you're going to have in your life. And unfortunately for her, she was in a really unhappy marriage. And she filed for divorce, but then he died, which is
like great.
Always easier.
Not bad.
You know? And then she didn't have any kids. So she was kind of just like,
what is a girl supposed to do with all the free time?
It's got to be more to life, you know? Mm-hmm. So she also enjoyed the outdoors and woodworking and iron making herself. She was well-rounded. So she was like, I also want to teach this to the girls. She gets involved in 1911 with Girl Guides, and she helps expand that group in the UK. And then in 1912, she sailed home to Savannah, and she was like, let's do this.
In Savannah.
Fun. So she called her cousin Nina, who was a local teacher in Savannah at that time, and she said, Nina, I've got something for the girls of Savannah and all of America and all of the world, and we're going to start tonight.
Wow.
I know.
We love the energy.
We do. So she launched her chapter of the Girls Guides in Savannah in March of 1912, 2 years after the inception of Boy Scouts of America. And her main focus with Girl Guides was just empowerment for girls. She was like, girls need to learn camaraderie and lifelong leadership skills and survival techniques. Girls need to be self-reliant and have career opportunities. Mm-hmm. Tess, they even eventually gave these girls, they gave them career guidance counseling and an early handbook that let girls know that they could be stockbrokers or aviators if they so desired.
Stockbrokers, my God.
I know.
I mean,
and
I love
aviators,
it.
I'm like, we did do an episode on Amelia Earhart, but I'm like, planes are fairly new, no?
I know, because most women at this time, school teachers,
yes.
Even secretary came a little bit later, right?
School teachers, nurses.
Yeah.
To put it in perspective, women couldn't even vote at this time in the United States. So it was expected that you were going to stick to strict social norms. So encouraging girls to embrace their unique strengths and create their own opportunities was game-changing.
Amazing.
Love it. In the beginning, they still did. They were like, okay, we are still in like 1911, 1912. So we still will have like a laundress badge and like we'll still hang there.
We can't give it all up.
Yeah, we'll still hang there. But they also played sports like basketball. Oh. They learned military drills.
It's just like thinking of like 10-year-olds just doing military drills is very funny.
It's
like
iconic, really.
It is.
They went, I truly like get down now. Hiking. And it wasn't too long after Girls Guides gets going that they were like, okay, yeah, this is all fun, but we're doing the exact same thing that the Boy Scouts are doing. Why are we called Girls Guides? Because guides makes it feel like we're just a passive help to the Scouts.
Yep.
Like they're having all the fun. It's important what we're called. Mm-hmm. So Daisy's like, you know what, you're so right. And in 1913, she was like, let's change our name from Girl Guides to Girl Scouts.
Oh, we love to see it.
How do you think the Boy Scouts of America has reacted?
They're like, no, no, that's ours.
Not well, bitch. They did not like that.
Get a little angry?
Yeah. James E. West was the head of Boy Scouts of America, Tess, and he said that the term Scouts by an all-girls group, quote, trivialized and sissified Boy Scouts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sweetie.
He was so mad that this happened in 1913. He never got over the name change until he retired in the 1940s. He kept complaining about it.
Oh my God. Like we always say, get a hobby. Like, what is wrong with you?
You're so angry.
You're so angry.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He could not let it go. And it didn't stop there. So the Boy Scouts uniforms were these khaki uniforms that resembled military uniforms, really into the army or something.
Oh, I didn't even think about what they were wearing.
Yes, of course we got to talk about what they're wearing. Yeah. So then the Girl Scouts started wearing a khaki uniform, and it made him so mad. And he said that the Girl Scouts uniforms now looked mannish.
He's like, you got to get a little tight mini skirt, yeah. And then I'll be happy with it.
He's like, you don't look hot anymore, and I'm not happy about it. So the Boy Scouts were not happy about. Well, that's not true. Not all Boy Scouts share these opinions. Okay. Mm-hmm. One Boy Scout master contacted Daisy personally, writing, quote, boys and girls play together and must in these times learn to work together. Men and women are united in the struggle for democracy. I'm convinced that girls are just as good as Scouts as boys.
Angel.
Liberal King, we love that.
We love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so not all of them were like the leader, but he was.
Right, and that makes an impact if there's just one.
And if it's the head one.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm sure Daisy's like, ooh, I love to make you mad.
For sure. She likes the challenge. Yeah. Crazy Daisy.
Exactly. And it was also in 1913 where we see the first integrated Girl Scout troop. So yes, Girl Scouts were revolutionary at this time, super progressive. And the whole program is focused on inclusivity, but in practice, inclusion took time. Juliette, or Daisy, she left integration up to local councils. She was like, I don't want to fully say integration because then I'm worried that Southern troops might not start. And thus it led to decades long of segregation if you're not going to put the rule out for everyone. However, the first integrated troop was in 1913 in Massachusetts. And the first all-black troop was in 1917, but Southern troops remained segregated until 1942, when Josephine Holloway formed the first officially registered all-black troop in Nashville. So I think because of this, like there wasn't even black troops popping up in the South at all until 1917. And also Mexican-American girls also formed their own troops in 1920s and 30s, especially in Texas and California, due to exclusions from white troops. But as the push for desegregation grew in the 1950s, which aligned with the civil rights movements, in 1956, after an interracial troop formed in Kentucky, Martin Luther King Jr. called the Girl Scouts, quote, a force for desegregation, recognizing their role in promoting equality.
Amazing.
Yeah. So eventually they were like, all right, we need to be a progress for change, like we always have said that we are. Mm-hmm. And this also brings up the conversation about trans girls, if we're going to be a group that says we are welcome for all. And the Girl Scout website says that the Girl Scouts are inclusive and welcome transgender girls. The official stance is that if a child is recognized as a girl by their family and community, they are welcome to join. The organization focuses on providing a supportive and affirming space for all girls, regardless of gender identity.
Incredible.
Love that. So, the way that Girl Scouts was ran at this time is actually very similar to today. The first troop was a troop of 18, which is actually pretty big for a troop. I feel like my troop was always like 8 or something like that. Yeah, it was pretty small.
Oh, I imagine like hundreds of girls. I'm like, I don't know what this is.
They're building an army. That is why they're doing
literally an army.
Drills. No, it would be like 10 to 15 girls. You'd have like 1 or 2 troop leaders.
Oh.
We always met at a church.
Who's the leader? Or how do they decide?
I think in my troop, it was a girl's grandma. I think it was just like whoever wanted to be.
Oh, the leader was someone, not a girl?
No, the leader is an adult.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, can you imagine?
I was like, oh my God, the tears, the drama.
The drama, honestly, that would be a great experiment.
I'm imagining like, what's the movie that's kind of, Moonrise Kingdom?
Yes.
That's like Girl Scout, Boy Scout adjacent.
Yeah, and then Troop Beverly Hills.
I've never seen that actually.
I haven't seen it in so long.
I know, because it was like an 80s kids movie, not a 90s kid
Yeah,
movie.
but I should watch it for research.
Need to watch it. Yeah.
That is our research at Right Answers mostly.
We'll do it tonight.
Yeah. But so they would get together and they would meet at the first Girl Scout meeting. They recited the Girl Scout promise and law, and then they learned to tie knots.
Got to get to it.
Gotta get to it.
Priorities.
We would always do we would sing like a friendship song. We do like arts and crafts.
Kind of sounds like my sorority, It's just like you sing some songs and then you do some shit. And
you hang out.
Call it a day?
Gossip a little bit. It's a very like girly space.
Is there a handshake?
There is not a handshake, but the Girl Scout promise. And I'm just wondering, does anyone remember the Girl Scout promise? Yes, I see the 3 fingers in the audience.
Oh.
That's right. Okay, so we're going to do the Girl Scout promise now. If you remember it, please sing along with me or chant along. It's like a chant. It's kind of a cult. It's okay. Okay, here we go. Ready, Girl Scout promise. On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law.
Love that.
So I was talking with our friend Alice, because she was a Girl Scout, and she was like, I feel like the last part in to live by the Girl Scout law, we always screamed at our meetings. And I was like, same.
You're just getting pumped up.
No, you have to. And so we actually did it. We were going out the other night, and we recited the Girl Scout promise before we went out, which I highly recommend to all the girls going forward.
For sure.
And now they actually did say, because I remember I was reading it back, I was like, on my honor, serve God and my country. Oh my God. They actually say that you can, in accordance with your own spiritual beliefs.
I was going to say.
Yeah. It's not the Girl Scout way to be like, you have to believe this.
Right.
So you can switch it out there. The movement is non-sectarian or secular. So you could say, on my honor, I will try to serve Jessica Simpson.
Oh my God. That's what I'd be saying.
Yeah. That's
serve
what
Bravo.
To serve Bravo.
Andy Cohen. Yeah.
That is our God. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can just put in whatever you want. And then the Girl Scout law, like I always said, the Girl Scout promise, I didn't really know what the Girl Scout law was. Honestly, it's just like, be friendly and helpful, be respectful, and like just be a sister to every Girl Scout and make the world a better place.
Simple as that. Can you get kicked out?
That's a great question. I'm sure you could.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's always a way.
Yeah.
I never.
But it's mostly like, as long as you just kind of show up and you're kind, like you're good.
Yeah, and I feel like, well, it does say, which I think that we could challenge a little bit. It does say respect authority in the Girl Scout law. But sometimes, cause a little trouble.
So that person's grandma, you're like, I don't like you.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so Tess, the Girl Scout motto, I never knew this. The Girl Scout motto, be prepared.
Good advice.
Great advice. But I think it's so funny sitting like 7-year-olds down and be
I know.
be
just like
prepared.
for anything in your life.
For anything and everything. And honestly, as a woman, like, hey, no better lesson.
Truly.
Be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So Girl Scout troops just like today, they taught different skills, and then you got to earn badges for those skills. Like my badge.
Yep, show them off. You have so many?
Thank you so much. I don't know. Oh God, there goes my notes. I don't know what some of these are. I have a reading badge, so that's good. And then I think there's like outdoor stuff. There looks to be a science one, which I'm like, well, that can't be. That can't be for me.
Their math one?
Probably not on my badge or on my vest. But back then, they had a little bit of different skills that you could learn. So these were ones that I thought were funny. Okay, Tess, if you want your civics or citizen badge, to get this badge, you would have to tell the history of the Declaration of Independence and be able to name the officers of the president's cabinets and their portfolios.
My God.
So go.
I wasn't a Girl Scout, so
that's true.
I don't know.
Why would you have to know that? I just feel like that's very intense.
It's very intense.
But hey, it's cutthroat out there getting those badges. So
exactly.
Got to do what you got to do. For the athletics badge, you had to know and be able to teach 20 popular games.
Like what?
I guess like basketball, soccer.
Do you have to do that thing like in PE where they test you? What's that thing called?
The president's test?
Oh my God. I just remember trying to do like a Superman or whatever that is when you're like 12. And I was like, this is not going to go well.
When they're like, today we're running the mile, I was like, I'd rather die.
The mile seemed like 35 miles.
It was.
Like, how did anyone complete that?
Also, I never was like in athletic gear. I think I was like in flip-flops wearing them.
No, I know. It just took like 2 hours. You're like, oh, God.
Everyone was so sweaty, and they're like, just go back to class now and figure it out.
PE is crazy. That's like a whole nother, we could do a whole episode on history of physical education.
We should. PE teachers are so specific. God bless them.
They are.
God.
That's all we have to say.
Bless them. And this one is the most wild. It's kind of intense. I apologize. But the dairy badge, Tess, if you want the dairy badge, you have to know how to feed, kill, and dress poultry. And then you have to test 5 cows for 10 days each with Babcock tests and make proper reports.
You had to learn how to kill. Do you remember this? Like you learned to kill animals?
No.
Oh, this is like back in the day. Okay, I was like, oh my God. I don't know what they're still trying to implement.
I did. My dairy badge is actually right here. I did that. No, it's just really intense.
That is so intense.
I know.
I mean, I guess survival skills if you're lost in the woods.
Yeah, they were like not kidding about the survival skills.
Yeah. It was a different time.
It was a different time. We don't have the dairy badge anymore, but we do have some more modern badges today. Girl Scouts have incorporated, and this is actually like major. If you check on the boxes, they're like all over the boxes. STEM programs are
women in STEM.
Women in STEM, and it's not knowing the timing of your spray tan and when you can shower. That's our Women in STEM badge.
For sure. You guys know what we're talking about.
Yeah. They created a Women in STEM program, and from 2005 to 2007, more than 8.6 million STEM-related badges were earned.
That is so cool.
Yeah, because they're trying to encourage girls to get more interest in the STEM field.
It's like coding with, what was that? Coding with Carly?
Coding with Carly.
That was also iconic.
Oh, my God. That was so like 2015.
It really was.
I'll never forget it. I wonder if Carly Kloss was a Girl Scout.
I could see it.
Definitely. Same. Okay, so some other Girl Scout badge categories. Cookie business, obviously.
Of course.
Financial literacy. I definitely never had.
That badge is not in
Also, I'm just like, what are you testing these like 9-year-olds on their financial literacy?
I mean, like, it is amazing when you think about it. Like, if you're just telling a 9-year-old girl, like, also, like, this is what a savings account is, or like, even like the most basic things that, like, we didn't learn that in school.
100%. And like, women are not taught that.
Exactly.
You're so right. Storytelling. If a Girl Scout like organization person is listening to this right now, I feel like we should get a storytelling badge for this episode. No,
please send us one.
That would be
send her a PO box.
Yes, outdoors, robotics, cybersecurity.
Oh my God,
I love the Girl Scouts so much. Animal, creative play.
Oh, so theater kids could.
They
were welcome.
Yeah, of course, and leadership. Like, it's all over the board. So. Obviously, then, now, same but different. But by 1920, the organization had reached nearly 70,000 members.
So cool. Like throughout the whole country?
Throughout the whole country. I think that people were desperate to, I mean, I know the girls were desperate. It's not like all of a sudden girls were like, oh, I can do this now. I think women throughout history have always been like, I would just love that.
Of course. We've always been like craving every opportunity.
Exactly.
It's not like you're just like, wait a second. You wake up one day and you want equal rights.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not this
you always want it. Yeah.
So true. So the first troop, like we said, had 10 to 17-year-olds, and they were all in one group together. But as it grew, we had to like split it up in the age ranges. And so there different levels were created. So today, the levels that we have are split up by grades, actually. So K through 1 are the daisies, after Crazy Daisy.
That is so sweet.
I know.
That's very cute.
And then we have the brownies, this is the brownies vest. We have juniors, cadets, seniors, and then brand ambassadors. Brand ambassadors are grades 11 through 12.
Okay. How long did you do it?
So I got out at juniors.
I got out?
Yeah.
Gotta get out of there.
I made it out alive. With Love and Light, when it's time to go in Girl Scouts, I feel.
Is it like when you're a kid and you like remember the last time you want to play with dolls and you're just like, it's time?
That was a really powerful way to describe it.
Thank you.
And that's exactly how I remember I was at like a Girl Scout camp day and I was like, this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, like the magic is gone.
I know, which makes me so sad because now I'm like, we need to make sure these girls stay in till brand ambassador because it's such an amazing program.
Yeah. But there's always a time.
I think it was normally for people. I don't know. Did we have any seniors in the crowd? Cadets? Did everyone get out usually around brownies and juniors? Yeah, get out.
That's killing me.
Everyone, we escaped at juniors. Yeah, it's usually I feel like juniors because that's grades 4 through 5.
Can you interact with the boys?
We never did.
That probably would have been my question. Like, if I did it in middle school, just like, are the boys going to be here? Or?
Where are the boys? Oh my God. Yeah, we never did any activities with Boy Scouts.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Yeah. That's so true. And I think we only went camping like once and we never actually even camped. And I was like, thank God.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were like in the AC and I was like, let's just stay here.
Yeah, you're like, let's glamp.
Yeah, let's glamp.
Get me a chic tent.
It's a whole new Girl Scout badge is glamping. But the Girl Scouts program, I mean, obviously they're already doing amazing things for the Girl Scouts themselves, but they've also been so involved with the happenings of the world. Throughout the Great Depression, Girl Scouts participated in relief efforts by collecting clothing and food for those in need. World War II, they were not participating with the military drills. I feel like I had to preface that.
Yeah.
They collected scrap metal, assisted the Red Cross, and promoted war bond sales. The Civil Rights Movement, they worked toward desegregation by integrating troops and promoting inclusion. And then from the 1970s to present, they've been involved in conservation projects, recycling programs, and sustainability initiatives.
Icons. My God, they're doing so much.
They are. But Tess, when you think about Girl Scouts, what do you really think of?
Cookies.
The cookies, of course.
We've been having some cookies ourselves recently.
I feel like I brought cookies over to Tess's the other day, and it was like a rot day.
It sure was.
And I think I awakened something in you and Adrian with these Girl Scout cookies.
Well, because we got Girl Scout cookies. I think we would get the Samoas usually. And then you brought over the peanut butter ones. And I was literally like, oh my God. It did awaken the beast. I was like, these are amazing.
Not just because there's like Do-si-dos, which I think those are the ones with the chocolate. No, those are tagalongs. I think the ones with the chocolate. I think the Do-si-dos are the ones with their oatmeal cookie with peanut butter on the inside.
It was crazy.
It was
a crazy experience.
Are amazing. Yeah, I actually got those at Erewhon because I pulled up to Erewhon and I wanted to go up to the troop and be like, girlies, we need some better real estate. Like, we're not going to sell at Erewhon. You know what I mean?
They're like, we have actually upcharged them by $100.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, go get your Girl Scout cookies. They're happening now. But the way they started selling them in 1917. The Mistletoe Troop in Muskogee, Oklahoma, they were strapped on cash and they were like, we need a way to raise money somehow.
Yeah.
You know what people love?
Baked goods.
Cookies. That's right. So the girls in the troop baked some cookies with their moms and then they went to a high school and sold them.
So that's how it started.
That's how it started. I just love that it's like the girlies and their moms baking cookies.
That's very sweet.
And then by 1922, the Girl Scout organization was like, wow, whatever is happening in Oklahoma is like really great. And we're also strapped on cash. So they sent out a thing to every troop and they were like, we should all be selling cookies to raise some money for our organization. And they provided a simple sugar cookie recipe from one of the regional directors of the Girl Scouts of Chicago. And people got to baking. They baked the cookies with their moms. They continued to do that. They wrapped them in wax paper. And then they sold a dozen cookies for 25 to 35 cents.
Wow. I mean, God, there's nothing like a simple sugar cookie.
I agree. That's what I'm like.
So simple, but so good.
I just feel so passionate about talking about how the shortbread cookies, their trefoils, are top 3 of the Girl Scout cookies, and no one talks about them.
Yeah, say it now.
And I'm upset.
We need to talk about it, yeah.
It's so good. So then the program started and is still doing, why they raise money is intended to improve financial literacy of girls and to keep the program itself going.
Yeah.
And then by 1936, they were like, let's go commercial with this shit. They start working with Keebler.
Oh?
The elves.
Oh.
Yes.
The elves got involved.
The elves got involved. And
they always do.
Keeblers are the ones, it's still that same bakery they work with today.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And in the 50s, more cookie recipes were added. Now we have the original shortbread Savannahs, trefoils, the peanut butter sandwiches, and the Thin Mints. And then the 70s, the Samoas were added.
Okay.
Which seems very right.
It's like, is that most people's favorite? Or what?
Tess, what do you think is the most popular cookie? You think Samoa's?
Yeah. Or is it Thin Mints?
Thin Mints.
Okay, Thin Mints. I have like a complicated relationship with Thin Mints. Sometimes I crave it. Sometimes like nothing sounds worse.
I feel the exact same way. I never think I like chocolate and mint, and then I have a Thin Mint, and I'm like,
no, then
okay.
it does hit. Now I even feel like I regret saying that.
And then in the freezer.
Okay. Or the freezer changes everything.
The freezer changes everything, and whoever figured that out.
I know.
Really
Women in STEM.
Women in STEM, exactly. And then the least popular flavor?
I don't know.
It's the trefoils.
Oh,
okay. It's the shortbread.
Okay. Yeah, people.
But we're going to change that after today.
That's true. Everyone go home, buy yourself some.
Yeah. So according to the Girl Scouts USA, the program is the largest girl-run and girl-led financial literacy program in the world, teaching girls skills like goal setting, decision-making, money management, people skills, and business ethics. And these skills are reinforced with Girl Scout badges such as Cookie CEO.
Adorable.
I'm obsessed with Cookie CEO.
Nothing cuter.
When I said that to you and you're like, yeah, it's just a Girl Scout being like, what can you do for me today?
Yeah, literally just like, yeah, I can talk.
Yeah.
10 years old. It's like braces.
We need to push 10 more boxes today. But it's crazy because during an average selling season, which is usually January through April, so we have a little bit more time, the Girl Scouts raise over $800 million from cookie sales.
Wow,
I know.
The power
And
of
it
a cookie.
truly does teach these girls. Like my mom, when we were selling cookies, was always like, I'm not going to sell these for you. You have to go up and you have to ask them. And they tell you like how to ask people, do you want to buy these? And then you have to like keep track of your sales. And with your troop, you'll talk about, okay, what do we want to do with this portion of money? Do we want to go on a trip for like a weekend trip or this activity? Then we need to raise this much money.
It's literally like business.
Yes.
And that's like amazing too, because just as a kid, like I was even scared to like call a restaurant and be like, like it's just so scary to like approach anything and then to be like, you need to go sell this to strangers. It's like amazing.
It really is. It just, I don't know what it is that cracks me up about 8-year-olds like selling cookies like this.
I mean, it's not, not normal.
Yeah.
when you really think about it, but it is at the same time.
But it's amazing. Okay, so Girl Scouts today. Today, the Girl Scouts continue to empower girls through leadership skills and community service. Girl Scouts of the USA has over 1.7 million girl members. The membership is dropping, though. So
Save the Girl Scouts.
Save the Girl Scouts. And it's a part of a worldwide community of 10 million girls and adults in 146 countries.
So cool.
Yeah, the organization focuses on inclusivity, personal growth, and social impact. And the key aspects of Girl Scouts today, STEM education being one. I just love how they really want girls in science and math. That is STEM, right?
Yeah, women in STEM.
Yeah, of course. Outdoor adventures, entrepreneurship, diversity inclusion, and civic engagement. With a modern approach, Girl Scouts continue to evolve while staying true to their mission of building courage, confidence, and character in young girls.
It's great. It's amazing.
It's amazing. And that is the Girl Scouts, the history of the Girl Scouts.
And to end, we have a fun little game to play. And you guys can all play along. We have Guess the Famous Girl Scout.
Oh my God.
And if you do listen to Right Answers mostly, some of these will be maybe people that we've talked about before. Okay, so to begin, number one. This woman loves to garden, cook, and host. Some may have called this mogul the original influencer.
Martha Stewart.
Yes, we do have a Martha Stewart episode.
She would be such a girl. She was Cookie CEO.
For sure. I mean, that embodies her.
Yeah.
Number two, she embodies old Hollywood glamour. She died tragically and young. We did an episode on her with a popular influencer as a guest.
Oh, Grace Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Check out our Grace Kelly, Jake Shane episode.
Yeah, Grace Kelly also makes sense that she's a Girl Scout.
Yes. Wow. Oh my God. I would be so intimidated if she was in my troop.
Oh my God. Yeah. Truly though. Okay, these are not RAM subjects, but they might be soon. Oh. She has couple goals with her husband, who we miss very much. She has a famous quote that says, "When they go low, we go high."
Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama.
God. Oh, she would be. Wow.
I know.
I guess I can't say this after every single person.
Actually, there's maybe one that I'm like, but no, actually, no, it does make sense. Okay, number four. She grew up on a Christmas tree farm.
Taylor Swift.
I know.
Taylor Allison Swift.
I know. You guys know
that. Well, she was a Girl Scout?
Yeah. That almost I feel like she'd be like, I don't want to.
I think she would go in there and boss everyone around.
Well,
She'd be like, I'm leading this thing.
Exactly.
We love that.
This previous Girl Scout has said, take criticism seriously, but not personally.
Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Another great quote.
Of course, a Girl Scout.
This woman, she had a Spotify podcast original where she interviewed famous guests. She's a former actress, best known for her role in a popular legal drama series. She has a Netflix show right now that's controversial.
Meghan Markle. Oh my gosh.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Megan Sussex. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
Sorry. Yes, you're right. Megan Sussex. Wow.
You guys watching that show? Anyone? No.
No.
Okay.
Tess says it's so
It's
comforting.
been it's like a bubble bath. It's been like putting me to sleep. That's for a different time.
Wow, Megan. Yeah, of course.
This one, a little controversial. She sells a candle that smells like a woman's private part.
GP. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Sorry to bring it there, but that's really the only hint that I could think about.
A woman's private part.
Just keeping it, for the live show. PG. Okay, and finally, it's one of our favorite...
God.
This actress is in one of our favorite movies of all time that tragically has a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Brittany Murphy. Or Dakota Fanning.
Dakota Fanning. Guys,
but we're
Uptown
talking
Girls, 14% on Rotten Tomatoes, and don't get us started.
No, so we have some homework for you. We have to save Girl Scouts, and we have to up Uptown Girls Rotten Tomatoes for them.
Yeah, you can rent it.
Yeah, you really
Nowhere
can.
to stream, but it's worth the rent.
Yeah. Oh my God, Dakota Fanning.
Yeah, so those are some of our gals.
Oh, I love that so much.
Well, Claire, this was so much fun. What a great history lesson.
What a treat walking down memory lane.
It's very sweet.
Highly recommend going to go get the Girl Scout cookies. They're like adding kind of crazy flavors like lemonade and stuff now. Like I love a lemon cookie, and there is that, but there's also lemonade, and
there comes a point where you have to
cut it off.
You do.
Yeah, but it's good stuff, and we love the Girl Scouts, and we're so grateful for all that they do.
I know, we really are.
And thank you, Spotify, and thank you for everyone who showed up.
Thank you guys so much for coming today. This was so nice to see all of you. It's very, very special. We're so honored.
As always, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Right Answers Mostly. Tyra is, well, she's not following us, but she's trolling us.
She will be soon.
She will be soon. And you can subscribe on Spotify and leave a little comment on the episode.
And this episode will also be out on our main page on Monday. So if you want to listen again, give us that click.
Thank you, Spotify and Travis and Haley and the whole team. And we love you guys.
Thank you guys so much.
See you next week.